I always do a lot of reviewing um, of my past in my head, and I always question uh, what the hell was God doing for most of my life? Like, or what was Christ doing for most of my life? Did he like? Did he want the full wrath of the narcissist to upon me? Did he want the full wrath of the narcissist upon me? Because that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Uh, did he want me to feel it to the fullest extent on purpose, intentionally? Because that's what happened. I mean, no saving happened in my childhood. None. No saving happened in my childhood. Christ was terrible. He was terrible in my childhood. Terrible. And I just want to emphasize that. uh, that's pretty much why I gave up in life, of how terrible God was in my childhood. Just do whatever you want to the kid. Do whatever you want to the kid. Type of attitude, feel. You know what I mean? Like just do whatever you want. No God here. Just do what you want. Type of a feel. You know, very indifferent. You know, so in turn, I reflected God's attitude towards me, towards back at him, and life, the indifference and the, oh, anything goes down here, type of a thing. So I was just reflecting him for a good portion of my life, just the not caring, what goes on down here. Because that's what I experienced myself, you know, on many occasions of just the attitude of no God here. I see not. I don't see what's happening. I don't see what's happening, type of a feel, So it's just like, okay, let these individuals do whatever the heck they want, basically, which is exactly what happened. Um, but I wonder, I've been thinking, like, was it intentional? Was the abandonment of myself for a good chunk of my life intentional? Was it all intentional? I don't know. Because I got the full enchilada of narcissists in religion all at once. I got it all. Uh, all their BS put on me, all of it. They were flawless, but I was screwed up just for looking at the ceiling. I was screwed up just for waking up in the morning. You know, um, it kind of just got ridiculous. So ridiculous that I just said I don't give a fuck anymore. Um, and I've always said this. Um, the easiest decision I've ever made in my life was attempting suicide. It was the easiest decision I ever made. That's how bad it was. That's how bad my life was as a whole. Easiest decision I made, hands down. Usually, other decisions were just like, oh, yeah, I'll take my time with this decision. But like with suicide, bam, like nothing. Because I knew, uh, I knew there was no God, probably because of the way just things were just allowed to happen to me. No big deal. Like it seemed like nobody gave a fuck. Like strongly, very strongly, all the way up to the suicide attempts. I was just like, I was totally convinced that there was no God, and if there was, I took way more damage than he could comprehend or care about. And I did think before I attempted suicide that I'm like, there's no way God could have handled this shit and not ended his life. That's how much pain I was in. At a certain point, that's how much pain I was in. It was just a combination of all the years, you know. Um, but it all could have been prevented. All of it could have been prevented if God just would have intervened uh, in my younger days. Uh, like, um, you know what I'm saying? Just to show a kid that somebody gave a damn, you know. But there was nothing. So the kid thinks, myself, the kid thinks that nobody gives a damn in this world or the next about myself because it was very obvious. I knew my parents didn't give a damn. I knew they didn't give a damn. I knew they couldn't feel love. I knew that. They only cared about the show, whatever they were doing, the image, whatever they were in, the fantasy land in their head. I knew they didn't care. But the fact that there was no intervention um, showed me that God didn't care either. And so I stopped caring about myself too, you know. And so I was just like, I don't, nothing matters, you know. I was just like, nothing matters. And that's how I lived. I'm just like, uh, God doesn't care about anything going on down here. How do I know? I've been on the receiving end of it. I've been on the receiving end of God not caring. So it seemed like a godless world totally. I was totally convinced uh, that this was a godless world. It was gone, you know. Um, so, anyways, I'm just like trying to make sense of it, you know. Like, was my abandonment, because there was abandonment, was that intentional? To feel totally abandoned for most of my life, was that intentional? Maybe, maybe, because it's a pretty sick thing to do to a kid. Very sick thing to do to a kid. I mean, that, you know, abandonment changes you. You know what I mean? It, I don't know. But that's all I want to say. It's just like I'm trying to figure out and like make some sense out of it, you know? Um, because a lot of my life doesn't make sense on God's end, on God's end of things, of what he was thinking or what he was doing by just saying, "Fuck it, let them do whatever the fuck they want. Let them brainwash the kid. Let them abuse the kid. Let them strangle the kid. You know what I mean? Just have at them. You just like do whatever do whatever you want to the kid, type of a thing, all the way down till I'm like feeling less than an animal, way less than an animal. Just have at it. Destroy them to nothing. That's that's how it felt. And I was just wondering if that all was intentional, to just turn your back on a kid, basically, for a couple decades at least, you know. And then uh, when the kid makes the easiest decision of his life, which is suicide, I know that shocks people that suicide's the easiest decision I ever made, and I made a lot of decisions in my life. Suicide's still the easiest one. Still the easiest one, hands down. Um, but that's just how bad it was. It was just like everybody was against me. Everybody was talking crap about me. Everybody wanted me off the map, and God wasn't doing anything. And it felt like He wanted me off the map too. It was just like everybody was egging it on. Just like it was just a whole big trying to get me to take myself out show. The whole time. You know, just like, oh, you did that to Adam. Oh well, hope he kills himself. Oh, you did that to Adam too? Oh well, hope he kills himself. It was just like nobody cared. Just um, this life seems so pointless to me. It seems so pointless. It's just like this world is so lost. Uh, you know, um, type of a thing. It's just like, I mean, even I was in my head. I'm like, even God's fucked up. That's what I was thinking. Like, God doesn't even defend children. God doesn't even defend children. This place is fucked, you know, is what I thought. And then, but yeah, taking myself out was like the easiest thing I've ever. It was like no question about it, uh, type of a thing. It was just that's how bad my life was. It was just that bad from beginning to end. I had some good high moments in my young years, like really young years. Um, that's the last time I remember being happy is when I was like 7, 5 or 7, about that age. That's the last time I remember being happy. It was about that age, around there. Um, but everything else was just a joke. Everything else was a joke. It's just like I'm getting abused. Jesus is out drinking beer somewhere while I'm getting abused. It's just like it was just who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Down here. That's how it was back then. That's how it seemed, like I'm getting abused while Jesus is drinking beer and on vacation. Who gives a fuck anymore? You know? Very easy to stop caring after that kind of thing. Very easy to stop caring. Um, but, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. It's just like a lot of my life is confusing, for sure. Um, and I don't quite see the intention of exposing the full narcissist experience on one individual. You know what I mean? To the point where he doesn't want to be here anymore. He doesn't even care if there's a God. I didn't even care if there was a God. I didn't care. That's how much I was done with this place. I was done with everybody. I didn't care anymore. It was just like, this is ridiculous. This place is ridiculous. God's ridiculous. He doesn't even defend children. Get the hell out of here. That's how I felt. uh, so, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Glad I got that off my chest. Uh, put it on camera how uh, terrible uh, God was back in the day. Back in the day. how terrible and indifferent God was for a lot of it. Very confusing. uh, very confusing. Um, yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. See you.